Right then, they're all lined up on the grid. We've got a yellow flag now. Oh no. What is going on? Oh, here we are then. 3, 4, 5 red lights. And lights are out. Let's go racing here in Bahrain. It looked like a pretty good start there from Brindy Boy. One of the Mercedes there, I think that's Dylan, making a fantastic start. He's going to get the pair of the McLarens into turn 1. Down the inside of Brindy Boy, he has a look. Brindy Boy covers it off well, though. Both of the McLarens then losing out to Dylan off the start. I think Rando's lost a few positions already. Sen got Dylan back, though, on the exit of turn 2. We've got a Red Bull Gooner's lost a few positions off the start. I didn't see quite what's going on at the back. We had a few yellow flags. We've got a Hassoff now. That's Tooman. Tooman's gone right off there on the exit.
It's McEwen. It's McEwen.
4. Oh, it's McEwen. Has he just taken back control of his car, do you think? That might have been it. McEwen's gone off then. The timing screens are messed up. That's why I thought it was Tooman. So then we've got Brindy Boy, who's already got quite a nice gap. 9/10 near enough to Sen. Then it's Dylan in P3 from Bunny. So the Mercedes both gaining position each off the start at the expense of Rando, who's already dropped a couple. A few guys gaining from those that lagged out. Lil Wiggy up from 15th to 11th already, so good start for him. We've got Riggsy and JH battling it out over P13. He's got on board with the Renault driver now. He has a look down the inside into the last corner, but he's not going to be able to go for it just now. But let's see if he can get a nice run out the final corner. Follow him down into turn 1. Getting a nice run. He's in the slipstream. JH moves to the right, goes defensive, but I don't think that's going to stop Riggsy having to go here. Brakes slightly later than the Red Bull driver. Round the outside, he's going to have the inside now for turns 2 and 3, and he gets it done. And look at that, JH now behind, under pressure from Morgan. McEwen's already just tied in the pits there. Morgan not able to go for the move just yet on JH, but it's getting a little bit feisty then towards the back. I'll quickly just bring up the tyres just to see what everyone's on. We've got Lewis, he's in the top 10 already. He's made a pretty good start there on the mediums. He's P9, I think, as apparently Liam was leading the race there for a second, and now Liam's gone off as well.
He's on the controller, Liam. He's had a lot of wheel issues, so I wouldn't be expecting him to be finishing this one.
Okay then, thank you for the update there, James, because I did not know that that was the case, and I didn't want to be going out there saying anything I shouldn't. So we got Brindy Boy then leading the way, 1.3 seconds, the gap is already to Sen. So Brindy Boy then, he's made a pretty good start, and he's trying to pull away to get out of the DRS of the guys behind. There's Brindy Boy then it's Sem in the McLaren, currently P2. He's lower on his ERS than Brindy Boy as well as Sen. So advantage definitely the Williams driver at the moment. We then got Dylan and his teammate Bunny running 3rd and 4th. So Mercedes, they can try and work together here to try and get past Sen. But I think they're actually more under pressure from Rando behind. As Rando's got a pretty good run out the first couple of corners there. But he, again, not going to be close enough just yet to go for any moves. Kind of a bit of a DRS train forming. Then from Rando, it's another nearly second and a half to check in the Ferrari. So there's kind of two little mini groups forming. There's the sort of top 5, sorry, and then a few behind. Although I haven't said that, Brindy Boy 1.4 seconds ahead by the looks of things. As we've got Chet, Ranger, and Bennett kind of in this little group, and then a bit of a gap back to Lewis. Clocks lost a bit of time at the start. He's down to P10. He's the only guy on the softs outside of the top 8. Of course, McEwen retiring being the other. As Chet gets very loose there off of the curb. Nearly losing the car. He did well to hold it though, but he's got Ranger hot on his heels now. And well, Brindy Boy's really just checking out in front.
Yeah, not really too much to report, to be honest, off the start. As I sort of suspected, Connor just about able to stick with some of the guys on the softs. So we've got Dylan getting past them for P2, Harry.
Yeah, if I'm going to be completely honest, I'd only just realised it was lap 3 in DRS, or lap 4, sorry, in DRS had been enabled, but there you go, with the help of the DRS, Dylan getting past Sem, but Bunny gets really loose on the exit of turns 2 and 3, and now Rando's going to have the run down into turn 4. Costly mistake there from Bunny, because they've just swapped positions, have the McLaren and the Mercedes driver. Rando down the inside at turn 4, he takes the position, but they're going to be going, well, they were side by side for a second. There we are, that is the Mercedes behind the McLaren now. Rando up into P4, making the most of that costly mistake there from Bunny. So it's one apiece really, a Mercedes getting past the McLaren and then a McLaren getting past the Mercedes. So can Dylan do what Sem couldn't and close that gap down to Brindley Boy? At the moment, doesn't look likely. It could be a bit of a battle for second at the moment as, well, Brindley Boy's doing everything right thus far.
Yeah, Cox just muscled his way past Lewis as well down into turn 4 for P9. Yeah, I wouldn't speak too soon about the lead though, because Dylan's a great driver, of course, isn't he? He was right up there in qualifying for most of it, and yeah, starting P4. Maybe not where he would have wanted to start, and trying to make up for that in the race. The gap is coming down now. Just about 1.4 seconds is Brindley Boy's lead now. Just yeah, it's shrinking really, that gap.
Lap.
Yeah, Dylan's coming
helped
for
by the DRS. Ranger as well, just got past Czech on the last lap, but it looks as though Czech's pretty close now to the AlphaTauri. So there you are then, we're going to go on board with Bennett to see how this unfolds. Czech having a look around the outside at turn 1, but Ranger holds his line, defends the position well. And now Bennett's got a pretty nice run actually out of turns 2 and 3. Czech didn't get the best of the run, and it means that the positions aren't going to be changing anymore after that. I'll tell you what, James, Riggsy was quite a way off his teammate only a lap or two ago. He's now right behind Lil Wiggy. Of course, Riggsy the full-time driver as well. I'm wondering if we might see some team orders down at Renault. Obviously, I don't know whether these guys are in contact or not with one another. But if they are, I'm sure that should be suggested. As you say, yeah, Clock just getting past Lewis, and Lewis on the mediums, of course, just dropping back a little bit. But, well, he's on the mediums, currently P10, so it's definitely not been a bad start for Lewis. He's got Connor just behind him for company. And as you say, Dylan closing in a little bit on Brindley Boy, and in fact, he's dropped Sem. So Sem is now out of Dylan's DRS. Sem 1.1 seconds behind Dylan. And, well, talking to team orders, are we going to see the McLaren swap round? Because, well, if quality was anything to go off, you would think that Rando perhaps is the faster of the two. Although having said that, he's just dropped back a few tenths since we went on board with him. And Dylan really is bringing this gap down now at the front. I don't know the ERS situation, whether Dylan's using a lot to try and get up. As Rando's having a little look down the inside of Sem's turn 1. So they're obviously not thinking about swapping positions just yet, and Rando's just letting Sem know that he's there. I'm saying Czech because Czech's gotten past Ranger, so these two going back at it yet again. But they're now going side by side through turns 2 and 3. Ranger's got the DRS as well, and Czech's not going to be able to fight that one back. So good battle between the pair of them. He's probably losing them quite a lot of time though. In fact, yeah, 4 seconds is Ranger's gap to Bunny. Yeah, so he's losing a lot of time, but Dylan's got into Brindley's DRS.
Obviously, they've been battling quite a lot throughout the field, but I'm really surprised about how sort of big these gaps are. And there's quite a few sort of defined groups out here at the moment. Yeah, I think Brindley Boy is going to have to use some of that battery. He's got to save some of the advantage airs over Dylan just to keep him at DRS, because if he can do that for the next couple of laps, then yeah, Dylan will be really struggling to try and keep up with him. Although, as it stands, it looks like the Mercedes driver is just going to sneak into Brindley Boy's DRS, and yeah, I should think also Harry, we might be seeing a swap between the McLarens relatively soon. Although having said that, Rando does have quite a bit less battery than Sem. Although even so, it looks like he is the quicker of the two. Dylan has got DRS, but he's only got 10% of his battery left, less than that now.
Ranger got very loose out the final corner, James. It's going to give Czech the run on him. Riggsy's gone past Wiggy as well in the meantime, and JH has picked up a couple of penalties I've seen already. There we go, pretty easy there for Czech after that mistake from Ranger. So Czech now back up into P6, but these two have been swapping positions the last few laps. And are we going to see a move? The McLarens are battling, James. Here we are then. Lil Wiggy's retired in the pits, which is an interesting one. But, oh, Rando! Oh, wow. Sem held the position around the outside of turn 4, and Rando nearly lost it on the traction. Nearly took Bunny with him, but somehow they managed to avoid any kind of contact. But now Bunny diving down the inside at turn 8. He's going for a bit of contact made. Bunny half spinning a little bit, but it was an ambitious move, not really on. And we'll head down to original now for the first time this race.
Yeah, a bit crazy action going up at the front, but no much changes there. A lot of action happening in the mid-pack, because we get the battle here with Lewis and Connor, switch positions. Connor made a mistake, that's been bad, and Lewis just pounced on the mid and the overtake. Little Wiggy, I don't know if it was a mistake or he spun, or he just had enough, both of them out in picks. So, there was a bit of action from JH.
Oh, Britney Boy's out! Britney Boy's out! Sorry, original. Britney Boy's lost it. He's lost it. On the exit of turn 13. How's he managed that?
Wow.
Well, I can tell you how he's managed that because I've done that myself. It would have just put the power down too early and just lost it. But wow. What is it? What is it with people being in the lead in this division and crashing out? That's happened to Tooman twice last season. Off the top of my head, that is. We've got guys in the pits and wow, yeah. That has really played into the hands of Rando and Bunny, both pitting already for the hards. They'll go to the end from here, and it's really advantage those two. Dylan and Sem both got past the safety car, though the safety car's not... Oh, it's a VSC, sorry. It's a VSC, so actually it really is advantage to Bunny and Rando because they'll have pitted under the VSC, whereas Dylan and Sem, they were past the pit entry, so they're not going to get that advantage. So yeah, wow. Rando's out already P6 on fresh hards, so he's in a very, very good position. He's got 2 cars in between himself and Bunny. So yeah, big mistake there from Britney Boy, crashing out of the lead.
And Connor's got
a drive through. Connor's got a drive through, just leading under the VSC. That's unfortunate. It's a little bug kind of thing with the game where once you exit the pits, the limiter goes off. As soon as you've crossed like back onto the track and the VSC's out, it basically just puts you like a second over your delta, and then you just screwed at that point. Tooman and Guna are going at it now through turns 7 and 8. There was a little bit of contact there made between the pair of them. Tooman on the mediums, Guna on the hards. Hopefully it's kind of all settled down a bit, which I think it has, so we'll head back over to you, Original.
Yeah, well, happy now Williams have now both paid the price with Windy. Yeah, I talked to Windy in chat, says he just lost his rear gun next to the corner. Easily done on that section, and just half the curve, just easy sends it.
Oh, goodness God. What is it with that corner when you're speaking? Sorry. Guna made a big mistake out of turn 11, and on the way up to turn 12. And he's just been disqualified now, Guna. Yeah, so Guna made a big mistake there. Tooman got past him. Then Bunny was right behind him. I don't know whether they made contact or not, but Guna went off the track at turn 13 into the gravel, spun it round, and has obviously faced the wrong way and then been disqualified. So, well, unlucky turn 13 by the looks of things. There's another driver. It's now out of the race. We've got Sem and Dylan both yet to pit. Rando and JH are battling it out though. JH, of course, yet to pit. Rando has pitted and he's up now into P5. So it's definitely advantage Rando by the looks of things as the McLaren driver. A pit stop ahead of these guys and already up into 5th. Dylan and Sem, could it be worth them stretching the softs if they can? If they can stretch the softs to lap 11, they could possibly mediums to the end. It is a stretch, but it is possible.
Yeah, it could be worth a shout, especially with the fresh tyres they got from the restart and the VSC. That'll definitely help with their tyre wear. And yeah, we might be speaking a bit too soon for Bando because apparently he's put the pit entry. And if that's anything to go by with the elite race from last Sunday, then that'll be a penalty for him post-race. But yeah, we'll concentrate on the on-track racing for now. He'll be looking to clear Morgan as quickly as possible. He'll have lost quite a lot of time fighting JH as well, which won't be ideal for him. As Dylan pits from the race lead for hards and Sem staying out, so maybe McLaren are going to try a split strategy now. Maybe use Rando to hold up Dylan for a bit. If he just come out the pits ahead of the Mercedes driver, as he's going to the left-hand side of the straight to get past Morgan, and Rando is out ahead of Dylan, so that could be crucial for McLaren's strategy in this race. And also Dylan behind.
Two cars in between them.
That's big potentially for this race, as I think Sem might be trying to extend and go to the mediums, but only time will tell for that one.
Yeah, if that's anything to go by, I mean, Bunny came out in a similar position actually to Dylan And, well, look how far behind Bunny is now compared to the McLaren driver. Rando did well there to get past Morgan. It was a move he really had to make, and he's put 2 cars in between himself and Dylan. But unfortunately, if what you're saying is true, it's a slam dunk penalty for cutting the pit entry, and that will be 5 seconds added on to his race time. If he's even just cut that line by a little bit, that will be a penalty. So, well, let's not concentrate on that too much. Obviously, we've got a race going on at the moment, and, well, Rando could pull 5 seconds to Dylan. He's certainly got the advantage having 2 cars in between himself and the Mercedes driver at the moment. He's really got to make the most of it because his tyres are a fraction older. We've only got 2 drivers ahead of Rando yet to pit. They are Rigsy and Sem. Sem starting on the soft course and Rigsy on the medium.
Sem's in the pits now. Also, one just point out quickly as well, Connor, Bennett and Randall all got drive-throughs, so that's why they're now towards the back of the field. Sem put
They'll have all had the same
hard.
glitch.
Yeah, so Sem will
Yeah,
be...
it was the safe option from Sem, probably the right option as well.
His tyres could be better, and as I said earlier, the hards at the end still aren't great, despite them being the most durable tyres, so he's sort of net P3, I believe that is, but he's going to be able to
just ahead of
catch
Buddy.
up to Dylan potentially if Dylan continues to be held up in that bit of traffic. So all's not lost at the moment for Sem. It's still a net podium as it stands, which I'm sure he'll be very happy with. But yeah, he'll be hoping he can keep Bunny behind him. Could potentially ruin his day in terms of challenging for the win if he gets ahead of him.
Sem and Bunny, both on fairly similar ERS, around the 70% mark. That's good for them. Dylan as well, he's saving a lot of his ERS up behind these two, as he can't get past them, but he can save his battery up. He's nearly at 100%, taps JH slightly there. So yeah, Dylan, I mean, if you look at Rando's down to 25%. So as soon as Dylan gets past these two, or these two pit, he will be absolutely flying. He'll have all his battery at his disposal. Rando, to be honest, if he can hear us, it's probably best to start trying to save his battery up, because he should really, realistically be pulling the gap to Dylan anyway, because he's faster than Morgan and JH, and Dylan's behind the pair of them. Yeah, so unfortunately, for those 3 drivers with the drive-throughs, it is, like I say, just a glitch. The VSC would have come in, or ended, basically as they exited the pit lane. And as a result, it means that they have no time to react to the Delta, and it just gives them a drive-through. And it's really annoying, but there's not a lot he can do. And Dylan's gone past JH, so he's got past one of the cars that he needed to. Dylan is very close there to the back of the racing point, but he has got the move done. Up into P4 now for Dylan.
Bunny past Sem as well, Harry in the background.
Excuse me, yeah, Bunny past Sem, and well, Rando's really not pulling away as much as he would like, and Sem's coming back at Bunny now, running outside of turn 4, but not close enough. Bunny covers it off well. Good battling from the pair of them here.
Well, this is interesting, because
Bunny
according to Sem, Dylan cut the pit entry line as well, so yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that one. We'll just concentrate on it on track, because by the sounds of things, the stewards might be quite busy with those pit entry incidents after the race.
Yeah, so we've got Dylan now. He's right on the back of Morgan, but not really close enough yet. But Dylan will get him pretty comfortably, I'd imagine, down the pit straight. And then, well, the gap to Rando is 3.5 seconds. So Rando needs to pull out a 1.5 seconds with about 4 times less battery at his disposal. So it's, at this moment in time, looking pretty unlikely for Rando to pull that 5 seconds that he might need. Although, if Dylan as well is going to get a 5-second penalty, then he might not have to worry too much about it. But here we go then, Dylan on Morgan. It's going to be pretty textbook move it. Pretty easy. There you go, Bob's your uncle. And Dylan up into P3. In fact, Rando as well is closing in on Rigsy. Rigsy is yet to pit onto the mediums. In fact, he's one of only 4 drivers yet to pit.
I reckon
the Renault driver.
I reckon he might be trying a medium soft here, Harry. I don't know about you.
Well, I'd say, considering he's gone this far on the mediums, probably, because I maybe wouldn't have gone this long on the mediums if I was going on to the hards.
Yeah, but he can take until lap 17, lap 18. He could probably stretch softs to the end at a push. Maybe more likely lap 18 than lap 17, but yeah. But he could be in the mix with a safety car and I don't know, three, 4 laps time potentially. But yeah,
He'll pit now.
yeah, he probably will. Rando losing quite a bit of time in his yeah, he'll be looking to clear him as soon as possible. Although Dylan with about 40% more ERS than him would just be gaining heaps of time, you should think, as Morgan picks up a penalty in P4, though he has to pit Bunny and Sem now looking pretty snappy to try and get past him. Could be seeing some moves here.
Rando's got Rigsy.
There we go, there's one of them. Could be seeing another one here.
Bunny's going for JH.
There you go.
Is he going to have a look down the inside of Morgan as well? Yes, he is. It's going to be a double overtake from Silly Bunny. What a move from the Mercedes. A bit of contact on the exit, but Bunny gets it done. Great move there from Bunny. He had to do that. But he's put 2 cars in between himself and Sem. That is crucial for his race.
Yeah, Sem doesn't seem to have a response either.
Yeah, James, do you want to just quickly check on that then?
Yeah, I'll have a look at
with the action. So yeah, we've kind of got this battle for the win. It's spread out over about 7 or 8 seconds. But if penalties do get applied, like we fear they might, they're really all quite a bit closer on track than you would perhaps think. But here we go then. Sem's gotten past JH. He's having looked down the inside of Morgan, but he's not close enough on this occasion. And well, Sem he's losing a lot of time whilst this is happening, and it's allowing Bunny to get away, because if Bunny can get up to Dylan, then it will be pretty difficult for Sem, because it will be a 2-on-1 situation there, both the Mercedes in front. JH getting another penalty. That's his 3rd of the race at least. So here we go then. It should be pretty comfortable. It's another move on Morgan that should be pretty comfortable. And that's nothing against Morgan, it's just that, you know, these guys have got the DRS and they're right behind him. So there we go. Sem up into P5, but it is of course a net P4 with Rigsy still yet to pit. And talking Rigsy, he's got Dylan just behind him, and Dylan has closed that gap down by over a second to Rando. And there we go, he's passed the Renault is Dylan. So we've got a McLaren from a Mercedes, from McLaren. That's your top 4. With Rigsy still yet to pit. And well, it will be interesting to see what Rigsy does do strategy wise. He's gone 14 laps on these mediums. It would seem a little bit unworth it to pit now for hards, but well, he's got to go probably another 4 laps to put some softs on. So yeah, we'll wait and see on that one.
Unfortunately for him, he really needs a safety car, I think, to be honest, because he's gonna he's gonna
Guinness.
Is he going to come out in P10 once they'll shuffle around? Yeah, I think he might come out in P10. It'll be P10 P11, I can't quite.
But it'll be in P10.
Yeah, P10.
No man's
land. I can't see him really getting any more than that, unfortunately, unless he has that bigger pace advantage on the softs. He might do, but even then, after Fock and Lewis and Czech, there's a fair gap. So yeah, unless there's a safety car or instance, I can't see Rigsy doing any better than about P7, P8, although he is struggling quite a bit now on his tyres as well, which won't be helping his cause either. But yeah, I should think he'll be getting into soft now. He's left it way too late if he wants to go hard. And his pace doesn't seem too bad yet either. We've got Lewis getting past Czech for P8. Lewis having a pretty solid race actually, up 5 from where he started in P13. Same with JH up 5 as well. I believe Morgan hasn't pitted yet, has he? Starting
JH hasn't either.
Oh, is he not? Oh, well, there you go.
No. So Lewis is actually a net P5 as it stands.
Yeah, that's impressive from the racing point.
Definitely, yeah. Lewis having a really strong race. It's a real shame that those 3, Bennett, Connor, Rango, all got drive-throughs, because without those, they'd be right in this battle for P5 with Czech and Lewis. Which is a shame, because it's taken a little bit of an edge away from the racing. We've got 15 drivers left in the race, but they're all pretty spread out, apart from obviously towards the front, where we have got Bunny. Now, he's the next driver to catch up to the back of the Renault of Rigsy, and Rigsy, he does look like he's struggling on those tyres now, getting a bit of understeer through turn 13, and well, Bunny's not going to get it down into the final couple of corners, but he is going to get it done pretty comfortably now on the main straight. Riggsy's got at least another lap to go on these mediums. So then there we go, Bunny gets the move done, and well, Sem's going to follow him through. We know Riggsy, he's pretty sensible, he's not even going to bother fighting it because he knows that's not his race. And well, he needs to preserve his tyres as well, as Sem gets very close there to the back of Bunny. He's got a bit of battery to use, and he's got the DRS, so he's going to go for the moves and down the inside into turn 4. Sem getting past Bunny, but Bunny's going to come back at him on the inside, get the switchback going. They're going side by side, and Bunny's going to try and hold it into the chicane, but Sem getting his elbows out. Good battling between the pair of them, and Sem gets up into P3, so good move there from Sem.
Yeah, this could be a hotly contested battle till the end. By the looks of it, still 12 laps to go, or sorry, 13 laps to go if you're counting this one we're on. So this race definitely isn't over yet. The battle for the lead, I wouldn't say is over yet either, although Rando does now have an ERS advantage, so he's fought off the threat from behind from Dylan thus far. 2 seconds, the gap seems to have sort of stabilised around from when I've been checking on it. And Lewis now on the back of JH. Lewis has pitted, hasn't he?
Lewis,
Lewis
has
has
yes,
pitted,
he's on
yeah.
8-lap old hards.
Well, I should think we might be seeing Riggsy in soon. I'm surprised he didn't pit
He's
there.
going another one.
Those
He's going to be pitting this
side.
line, definitely.
Yeah, well, JH coming in now.
JH is in.
I believe that'll be for softs. I'd be surprised if it's anything else. Although Morgan pitted last lap for mediums, and yes, it is softs. Oh no, it's mediums. Oh, they looked red to me, and then suddenly changed. So maybe that's a last-minute strategy call.
No, he's just lagged a bit there in the pits. I was going to say he's got a time penalty, but he served it after he's changed tyres.
Come on, Bennett for P9,
yeah,
Harry. Sorry to cut you off down the inside. He's thinking about it. It's Connor, but Bennett defends it well. This is a battle over the last remaining points positions. JH might
playing it safe.
Yeah, he might catch him by the end.
He can push those mediums. Yeah, he can push those mediums now. Ranger and Morgan battling it out as well. Morgan on fresh mediums should get past Ranger fairly soon, although Ranger's defended the position for now. I was just going to bring up Clock. Pretty quiet race for him so far, but he's currently P8 and he's actually catching Czech and Lewis. So Clock's definitely one to keep an eye out on. As well, yeah, he's closing in slightly, and he's running a pretty solid race there in P8.
Well then, getting ready for Riggsy to finally pit off of those medium tyres. He's done a stellar job so far on them, 19 laps. The last driver in this race to pit, he is coming in now. From the looks of it, he'll come
Morgan's
out.
past Ranger.
He might just come out ahead of JH in about P13, P12 here, Riggsy. Needs a good stop from the Renault crew, which it looks like it is. Where's it gonna be? Will it be?
He's just lost so much time in these last few
Yeah,
laps.
he really has. Thought he'd come out in about P10, it's P12.
Oh, Connor and Bennett going back
P13
at
now,
it,
behind JH. That's not going to help Riggsy at all. And yeah, Connor and Bennett back at it. Connor holds P8 at the moment. Bennett low on the ERS as well. That could be that one settled, although I'm sure Bennett will have something to say about that for the rest of this race. Check in Lewis's DRS, sorry, as well. Bit of weaving on the straight from Lewis trying to break the slipstream. What else we got? Bunny and Sem. Oh, the gap for the lead is still going down as well, Harry. Dylan's not giving up just yet. He's not letting Rando take this one easily, as Rando gets a bit squirmy out of turns 14, 15.
Bunny's closed up back to Sem as well, because the gap had increased to around about a second. Ranger's actually gone back past Morgan, so these two have kind of been battling for a little while now, and I think we might see a change of position here. Bunny getting back past Sem, so there we are. Sem seemingly didn't put up too much of a fight, but Bunny is back up into P3. He's got 50% of his battery, and Sem's got about the same, so it's not like one has a massive advantage over the other, but Sem's going to come straight back at Bunny here, down the inside into turn 4. Big lock up on the front right, and it's going to be a carbon copy of their battle a few laps ago with Bunny getting the switchback, but he's got it done this time, so Bunny more effective this time round with the switchback, and he keeps hold of P3. Over to Original for any updates.
Not really. You've already mentioned the battle between Bunny and Sem. Probably the big battle here is probably Connor and Bennett have been going at each other for the last 5, 6, 7 laps. It's non-stop. And then the big battle between Morgan and Ranga has now dropped it off. Morgan's now pulled away.
Yeah, that was Ranga just brought some yellow flags out. Seemingly every time we go to you, yellow flags come out.
There's a snake this time free, I think, Harry.
Always
doesn't
does
have a sign or anything.
Curse.
I saw Reese going quite slowly out of turn 4, so I wonder if he was trying to wait up for Ranga, if he caused Ranga to spin, but it doesn't look like it. Morgan just got past him, so I wonder if he had a bit of an incident with Morgan. So yeah, sorry, we'll go back to you. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're good, man. Yeah, I think it's just showing how quick the mediums and the stops are compared to the old hards now. Just shows how the pace difference there. It improves quite early on.
Yeah.
Rixie may struggle towards the latter stages. Can he make up a good 15 seconds to Connor? He's in the points, but can he improve that time? That's the big question.
Yeah, I think P8 might be his limit here. I think. Connor and Bennett, he should be able to get
13 in
there. Yeah, with a 13 to clock, he won't get that even with his massive advantage. So, still P8 not a bad result considering he wasn't actually in the session until the end of the formation lap, and then on the alternate strategy that'll be up 6 places if that's where he finishes, which would be a fine day's
Morgan
work.
and JH battling James. JH down the inside at turn 4, but Morgan just about keeps himself ahead. Ranga's pitted to some softs, as has Liam, and now I wonder if they're going to try and get the lap record, because the lap record around here I believe is quite old. I think it might be from season 1. I don't know for sure. I had a brief look the other day, but yeah, Ranga then clearly going for the lap record here.
Just a quick update. Ranga had a wing change, so we had wing damage.
Okay, so yeah, Ranga must have had quite a bit of an impact then with the wall. He seemingly lost it kind of halfway down the straight as well, so I'm not entirely sure how he ended up with damage, but there you go. We got Sem and Bunny going at it yet again. The gap at the front, it is coming down. Dylan's still not quite in the DRS of Rando, and the gap, well, the third and fourth, sorry, it's really pulled away. Oh, it's increased quite considerably. It's now up to over 8 seconds. So I think if the feeling is both these guys at the front may be getting penalties, so it really is going to be whoever finishes ahead of the other on track, by the looks of things. Dylan is now just about within Rando's DRS, and well, if Dylan's pace over the last sort of 10 laps is anything to go by, you would imagine that he should be able to get past Rando. But having said that, I'm sure Rando will probably stick with Dylan, much like Sem and Bunny have. And we've got Lewis now. Yeah, Lewis, he's in P5. He's got checked just a few attempts behind him, as they have been for quite a long time now. Clock, after I said that he was pulling the gap down a bit, it's kind of stabilised somewhat and gone a fraction up again. But yeah, as we say, Riggsy's got past Bennett, so Riggsy's up to 9th now. But it does look as though 8th is going to be his ceiling. He should be able to pull a big enough gap to... Oh, Connor's just left. He should be able to pull a big enough gap to Connor to not have to worry about him coming into the race when his tyres start to go off. But I don't think he'll be able to gain 13 seconds to clock. I imagine you're getting in on the invite, James?
Yep,
or?
I've got the lap record as well. It's a 27.9 from season 1. Liam's done a 28.1, so looks like it could be beaten by the looks of things. I should think Liam's back on his wheel to have set that lap, but if not, he's a pad gone. But yeah, maybe Ranger will be able to beat that on his fresh set of stops. Dylan in Mando DRS as well for the lead, Harry, so we could be seeing a change of positions come the end of the race. So yeah, the battle for the lead well and truly alive with just over 6 laps to go.
Yeah, thankfully for Connor, he should only lose the one position. He's lost the position to Bennett. Hopefully he won't lose any more than that. Morgan and JH both have time penalties anyway. So
Yep,
I don't think we'll have to worry too much about that. And there we are, new lap record then for SLR Ranger. So it may not have been the race he wanted, but he has got a lap record to show for his efforts. And here we are then, back at the front. We haven't been here for a while, but Dylan has now caught back up to Rando. It's been a stellar effort to get to where he is now from Dylan. Can he go one further and take the win? Not yet. He's not going to go for the move just yet, but give it a few laps. And by the looks of things, Dylan will be going for the move. They're on fairly similar ERS, but Dylan's actually got the fuel warning light on. If you look in the bottom right there, the yellow fuel light. So that means that he's going to be just over the estimated usage. So it'll be, you know, around minus 0.1 or something perhaps, as it's yellow. If it was red, he'd be, well, in serious trouble right now. If it was red, wouldn't make it to the finish line by most standards.
I've got a
yeah, so that's just something to look out for Dylan.
I've got an update on what happened to Renga. He had an incident with Morgan, I think, and then Riggs got caught up in it as well, apparently. So that's why Renga ended up with a bit of damage. Yeah, that disconnection from Connor has unfortunately cost him dearly, because he lost not one but 2 places. Otherwise, it stands to get one back with Morgan's time penalty. But yeah, not a great day for Williams, unfortunately, with Windy Boy retiring early on, and then Connor picking up a drive-through. But yeah, we'll swiftly go back to the battle for the lead. Dylan's just not quite got enough at the moment to challenge Rando. He's done really well to get back into his DRS, to be fair to Dylan, but just doesn't seem to have that extra bit at the end of this race to make it count. Yellow flag, that is Liam.
Liam. He had just picked up a penalty as well. I'll tell you what, as Bennett is pitting, as is JH. Interesting. Yeah, they're both sacrificing points. Here.
They want the record.
I imagine they perhaps think Morgan's going to be slapped with a hefty penalty or something. Otherwise, I don't quite know why they pit. So Tooman now goes up into P11. Bennett and JH now 12th and 13th. I'm really impressed with Lewis, though, it has to be said. I know Morgan's gained the most positions out of anyone this race. He's up 10 and into P9. But Lewis, 13th on the grid, he's up to P5. Obviously, aside from the top 4, who I don't think anyone could challenge by the looks of things, I'm really impressed with Lewis. I think he's driven a really good race. Obviously, the job's not done yet, and he has got a time penalty. So, more likely than not, he will be P6. Even so, I mean, pretty good drive from the Racing Point driver. Is Czech going to go for the move? I mean, he doesn't need to. Maybe it's not worth it, him going for it. There's the penalty update, just to let you know. As well, I think Liam's made about that's his 3rd stop now, Liam.
Yeah, actually, as you just mentioned, the race there, Harry, I think that's a good time to ask the stream to vote for their driver of the day.
Yellow flag?
I'm not sure.
Dylan, it just pops up for
well, Dylan's got about 40% ERS now, so he's saving up for a big final push at the end. Nigel agreeing with you in a sense of saying Lewis would drive the day. I know you didn't say Lewis would drive the day, but you said he's done a very good job. So yeah, you've got Nigel back in Lewis at the moment. Freeman agreeing as well. So the former teammates from last season, both the same driver of the day. Originals just pop that in the chat as well.
I hadn't actually realised Sem's dropped quite a way off Bunny. I don't know if he made a mistake or something.
Yeah,
but yeah. Oh, so here we go. Check's gone for it on Lewis. Bit of contact made. Wheel to wheel, front right to front left, and whoa, nearly a crash there as Lewis came back across to take the racing line. But they're all right on the whole. A little bit of wheel to wheel, but nothing too untoward. But that is losing Lewis some time that he can't really afford to lose if he wants to keep hold of P6 even, because the clock's actually gaining on him slightly. Yeah, Sem's dropped right off Bunny, 2.5 seconds over behind the Mercedes driver now. So that's well, I think Sem now settling for P4. I mean, points are points, and when McLaren didn't get any last week in this division, I'm sure they'll take whatever they can get their hands on. As Czech now does get Lewis down the inside, so Czech up to P5. We had yellow flag in set 1, but that was just a lapped car letting some guys through. So yeah, as we say, Riggsy, he did get up to P8. That does appear to be a ceiling. He has pulled that gap down to the clock by a few seconds. But yeah, he's too big a task, I think. But he's done pretty well to recover. He's up 6 himself, is Riggsy. So P8, 4 more points added on to him as it stands. So I'm sure he won't have too many complaints about that one.
This is it's smart driving from Dylan. He's doing what I think he is, sort of lowering Rando into a false sense of security. Thinking he's comfortable out in the lead, but I think Dylan's going to go for it here.
In the ERS situation.
I think he might go for it here. Or as I say that, he's just switched his ERS back off. Even with just the slipstream of the DRS, he's got such a big speed advantage on the straight. Thinks better of it. And it just settles in again. I think we're just going to see him waltz by on the start finish straight at the start of the next lap. But maybe
Rando down to single digits.
Maybe running a slightly dangerous game though. If he makes a mistake this lap, Dylan, it might not be plain sailing for him. But Rando won't make it easy for him either way, really. But yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that, because that seems to be the only battle really on track now at the end of the race.
Yeah, like you say, Dylan's in a kind of difficult situation almost, because does he want to go almost too early? You know, it could be too early had he gone for the move just then. But he obviously doesn't want to leave it too late, which, well, he's going to have to at this point. He's going to have to go for the move next lap, because it's the last lap next lap. So, there you go. As JH's got no penalty. So JH, I imagine, is trying to go for the lap record himself. Who actually has it at the moment? It's still Ranger at the moment.
Both Ben and JH done 27.5, so they're looking to get very close.
Yeah, and oh no, I thought they'd caught back up, but that's clock on the back of. Just looking at the mini map, I thought they'd caught back up, but no, it's clock on the back.
There we go then, Harry.
Of Lewis. So here we go then. Yeah, is this going to be a move for the lead? Dylan is running low on his ERS, but well, Rando kind of weaving around a bit. It's going to be fairly easy, I think, in the end for Dylan. Rando's going to try and come back at him with the switchback, but well, Dylan gets a very nice exit there out of turns 2 and 3. I don't think Rando's going to be close enough to go for the move. It doesn't look like it. I think that could be it. Dylan then getting up into the lead on the last lap of the race, but well, not really too many other overtaking opportunities, even with another DRS straight. And we've got a yellow flag, turn 4, but again, there's nothing there on the mini map when I look. That car, there we go. Oh, Rando get very close there, and that's compromised his exit, and whoa, he's all over the shop. So I think he's just unfortunately pushed slightly too hard as Rando, and unfortunately for him, it's been a really good drive. It has to be said, a very good drive. I mean, it's difficult to lead from the front when he's been on his own pretty much the whole race, and then to have it taken away from him so cruelly on the last lap. But it's fair play from Dylan. I mean, Dylan overcame a 3-second plus advantage to take what appears to be the win. Obviously, there's 2 corners left to go. But here we go then. Round in the final corner. He did it last week. Oh, Rando's binned it. He did it last week and he's done it this week. Dylan with his second win of the season in 2 races. And if Rando gets a 5-second penalty, that's really going to cost him. It is going to be P2 for Rando. Bunny
Sure.
3/10 off him in the end. And well, if Rando does get a penalty, that is really going to be costly because it could end up being a Mercedes 1-2. But there you are. It's Dylan from Rando from Bunny. That's your top 3. It's 7 P4. So it's Mercedes, McLaren, Mercedes, McLaren. Czech comes home in 5th in the end. Followed by Clock. Lewis comes home 7th after his penalty. Shame for Lewis, but it was still a very good drive nonetheless. Risi comes home in P8. There we are. Across the line, P8 for Risi. Good effort from Risi. Morgan is 9th, but after his penalty has been accounted for. He's still P9, but I think Connor had a big timing
Yeah,
fix
he
by the
missed
looks of things.
no penalties for him.
Bennett, picks Connor, which that will be amended after the race. So I'd imagine it will be Morgan 10th and Connor 9th. Tooman across the line 12th. Quiet afternoon for him. Race of his own, really, as it has been pretty much every race at this point that he's been running no line for. Ranga seemingly is going to keep his fastest lap. Although we'll just have to wait and see. And yeah, Owen in the chat tried too hard at the final corner. I think that really, it did seem as though Rando was just trying a little bit too hard on that last lap. And I think JH did actually just pick the fastest lap. It looked as though something flashed up at the bottom of the screen. I'm more bothered about that than the win at this point. Here you go. Morgan gets the drive of the day from the game. That's purely down to how many overtakes you make. Although Morgan, well, he gained 10 positions, so he had a very good drive. I don't want to take anything away from him in that regard. So there we are. Dylan then, second race win of the season in as many rounds. Perhaps, well, I would say a bit more comfortable this time, but I wouldn't say it was. He only took the lead on the last lap. It ended up looking comfortable after Rando's spin at the final corner. Which, well, that could really come back to bite him. But there we go. Provisionally, it will be Dylan from Rando from Bunny, your top 3. And JH didn't quite manage to get the fastest lap at the end there. He's just over a 10th off. So there you are. Dylan from Rando from Bunny. Sem comes home P4 to make it a McLaren 2-4. Czech's 5th with Clock 6th. Lewis 7th. Racing Point driver. Driver of the day. It's looking as though it's edging towards Lewis, but I'm not too sure. Risi comes home in P8. Pretty decent recovery there from the Renault driver from 14th on the grid. Morgan is 9th, up 10 from where he started, and then I think it should probably be Connor somewhere in the points after he gets his time and glitch removed. So there you go. And then your non-point scorers were, I believe it should be Bennett, Tooman, JH, Ranga and Liam, and then your non-finishers were Guna, Brindy Boy, Wiggy and McEwen. Guna actually says DNF there, even though he was disqualified, so I don't really know what's going on. But there you are. I believe we've got the top 3 in the party, so I'll hand it over to James for the podium interviews.
Alright, we'll keep these short and sweet, because I'm aware the stream's on about 2 hours now. We'll start with Silly Bunny in 3rd place. Just pipping Sam in the end. Good result for Mercedes as well, of course. So yeah, talk us through your race.
Yeah, cheers. I got a pretty decent start. I managed to get past, I think it was Rando at the time. And yeah, I guess literally from the first lap it was Brindy, Dylan, Sam, Rando, and I would sort of pull like a 4-second gap to the rest of the pack. Then obviously the VOC came out and I pit and I thought it was a full safety car, so I was sort of just weaving and warming my tyres up after I came out of the pits, no clue what was going on. So yeah, that was sticky, but yeah, I had a really good race with Sam, to be fair. It was really enjoyable. Sort of trading positions. Top 2 was out of sight, to be honest, but yeah, no, great points for Mercedes, and it might even be a few more after some stewards get involved. So yeah, hopefully that's the case. But yeah, really good at the race, and well done Dylan, and also well done Rando. A bit peak on the last corner there, mate.
Yeah, I know, right? Spin for style.
Well, well done on your first podium of the season, and we'll now go to SLR Rando, who came home in P2. I believe you ended up with the most votes for driver of the day.
Oh,
I'd say it's probably a good shout. Led for most of that second stint until right at the end, and then obviously yeah, that spin at the final corner, not ideal, but still managing to just about bring it home in P2.
heart in the mouth.
Yeah, leading for the first time in Div 1 as well, of course. So how was your race?
Well, obviously at the start, I absolutely clowned it on the start. Go from P2 to P5. Not ideal. And then, yeah, as Barney said, we just kind of split away from everyone else. And then there was the VSC. And then I was talking to Stem at the time, and then Stem was like, no, I'm not going to pit. So I was like, okay, I'm pitting then. So I did, and then Bunny came in with me. So we both obviously pitted. And then I think there was quite a few cars like who were around us on old cards. I think I was able to get past them a bit quicker than Bunny. And then it was just tyre management and watching the Delta to Dylan come down and then stay at 8/10, and then just I was constantly asking Owen for whatever Dylan's ERS was, because I know he loves a cheeky ERS save in the slipstream. He's done it to Rand and he's done it to me. No, but it was a great race, honestly. Sweating so much, absolutely trying hard mode.
Yeah, I did not appreciate rank at the end there.
Scenes.
Anyway, good result for you. Moving up from Division 2, of course, to finish P2 and then your second race in Div 1. It's a great result. We'll finish with SLR Dylan then. It's 2 out of 2 at the start of the season for yourself. Couldn't have had a better start to the season, of course. Yeah.
Well, too fast as that would be lovely, but yeah, really just surprised with this one because Bahrain really isn't my strongest tracks out of all of them. But got a really good start somehow. I got to a position of first up and then took that P3, I think, or P2 back on running S10 lap 1. And then yeah, I had some few issues because I reckoned that would be safe to go, but it only came out of VC. So I was at like -0.48 when I got to P2 there, and then it's just about saving some, just getting caught at the back of Rando, and then saving a lot of fuel till the last few laps, and then I was fine on ERS like 40, and I saw Rando's red light flashing, so. That scenes, and then I tried to overtake him on left 38, that didn't work, but then no ERS on left 39 for him, or 29 for him, so got the job done. And we'll see what happens with pen. I might get a pen on my name, but we'll see what happens with that, I guess.
Yeah. I'm not paying
Yeah,
for.
Yeah, I jumped out of the
Yeah,
I jumped out of the pit. I jumped out of the pit in when I tried to go in because Zarda told me to stay out, so when you do pit, so I might get a 5 for that, but that's fine. And then, well, so Rando spin on the last corner.
Yeah, oh no.
Yeah, I was like,
when I did it, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
people comfortably.
Yeah, you can't get through it.
I was
Yeah, exactly.
I was saying to Bunny, like, hurry up, you might get him. But yeah, fucking race.
Like when you shot, it's like
was
those
sweating.
straps, that's a really good cool.
Yeah.
So.
The start was really good. So yeah, lovely.
Alright then. There you have it then. Lovely.
That sounds good, doesn't it?
Race winner. Yeah, there you go. That's hard to sum it up. Will it be win next time out?
Nope, it won't.
What are you saying?
It won't, mate. No, next time is Vietnam, right? Yeah, no, that won't be it, mate. That's a horrible track for me. But I thought the same about Bahrain, so we'll see.
Well, yeah, you never know. But that is all we've got time for then this evening. I'd like to thank James for joining me, although he's just gone. So, bye, James. And Original as well for joining us in the comms box yet again. And be sure to join us throughout the rest of the weekend for the other divisions, of course, Division 2 and 3 tomorrow, and Elite on Sunday. But we will see you for Division 1 in Vietnam next time out, next Friday, usual time, 7 PM. But that is, like I say, all we've got time for tonight. So thank you all, and good night.